begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
After the interception, here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And some space here. 20, 10. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have them set up with a 1st and goal right at about the 6-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Harris. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. He'll give up 6 yards there on the loss, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding the 3. That's a pretty nice...
Taking it right down Broadway. Still going past the 30. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Cleveland.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. A good pickup there, a 22.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On fourth down, Strong looking for Campbell downfield. This is intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Browns are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Echols. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
That's taken in by Dulcich. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw on second down. Strong. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Well, Brand, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to get with the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get him next time out.
And he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line. A tackle made there by Caden Stearns.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down. The Browns did a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunt. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath, gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Again, it's Watson. Another completion here to Hunt. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now a first carry for their fullback. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And Hunt is not going to get there. They will indeed snap it to Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Strong finding Harris on back-to-back plays. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Strong. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, their first 2 drives only yielded 3 points. They might be thinking it's time to make something happen. Push the ball downfield and try and gain some points that way. Unfortunately, incomplete.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Watson now to throw. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
To throw again on 2nd down. Watson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, this secondary just continues to be a force. Multiple interceptions in this game, and now the pick six.
And the thing about it is once you get an interception as a unit, you think to yourself, okay, we got that. How do we increase it the next time? Get the interception, do a little more damage, and there's your outcome right there. Take it to the house and break down what they're trying to do offensively.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
After the sack on first down, Watson got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. Throw left side, complete. That's Hunt. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. To throw on second down. Strong. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On third down, here's Harris. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Faking the give. Now Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Watson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, it's Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And my goodness, another interception. Brandon Smith picks it off. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, they matched their opponent's pick 6 from earlier. Those are some crucial points that may prove pretty consequential as to how this one plays out.
And Brandon, I think now we're not just watching how they move around the field, but we're checking their psychology out a little bit, aren't we? Because that defense, they're about to go right back out with all the momentum on their side. That's for the opposing offense. You wonder if there's going to be some hesitation to lean entirely on the passing game to try and mount a counterattack.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. As a former defender, I can feel their sigh of relief after that one, because when he breaks out of the pocket and you face a mobile quarterback, he causes all kind of problems in your secondary. They were able to force that incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Quick throw completed by Watson. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Off the play fake. Strong. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A.J. Brown from 17 yards out. And the Browns take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that's a rare bright spot in what's overall been a pretty poor showing so far. But you've got to figure when you're down a bunch, why not take some big shots? And they connect on that one.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Campbell. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Brian Burns picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He is racking the sacks up. Charles, 5 last week, now 2 here.
I don't care what they've done in scheme. It's not working. I mean, you can do it all day long, all night long. They did it all week, and it hasn't worked. In fact, on that last sack, I thought I saw him drop a Pro Bowl ballot at the feet of the quarterback and say, here's a pin right in my name.
He keeps playing like this and be dropping those ballots from a plane above the city.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 4th down, Strong. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and this Browns defense stands tall. And that time they went with a fade on 4th and goal. Did not work out.
Now, how do you feel about that type of a call? Because I've been with you long enough. I don't think the fade route in that situation is one of your favorites.
I just think you're putting yourself into a corner. You don't have any margin for error, right?
I agree with you totally. You tend to run out of real estate. You've got to make sure you run that route so well that you're allowed to fade and catch the football and come down in bounds. I think that's one of the reasons we've seen the fade stop come into play so well, because now it's a little bit more of an easy throw.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. To throw is Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
3rd quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Third and 2, Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 29-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. To the air yet again, Watson. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 41. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Well, a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. Watson on first down. And my goodness, another interception. 30. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Looking to throw. Strong. And it'll be intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Browns are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. So certainly a big mistake there, Charles. First and goal, and they throw the interception.
Oh, that's just agonizing for a team because you still got at least 2, maybe 3 downs in your pocket. So if it's not there on first down, there was no sense in trying to force something. Instead, they turn the ball over.
After the interception, here's Watson. And now here's another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And that pick 6 a moment ago doesn't change things too much. They still seem pretty comfortable with a 3-possession fourth-quarter lead. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Point after, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Broncos,
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the pick six we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a two-possession game as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. Fresh off the pick six, it's Watson. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's got some space here. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. 27 yards. And the Browns add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. So the touchdown there, and that play, the tap pass, so simple, Charles, on the face of it, but what makes it so difficult for defenses to stop?
I think it's the precision and the quickness in which the play occurs, because the snap gets to the quarterback. He's essentially playing volleyball with it, just immediately just shoveling it forward. And when that receiver's at a full head of steam, if you don't take the edge away, he's got a chance to get to the corner and get upfield. But if you take the edge away, that's your chance to disrupt that play.
And no disruption there, that's for sure, as it winds up 6 points. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Strong. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is too far behind his man. He missed him. It's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And now here's another interception. And the Browns are going to get the football back at their own 17. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
To put it mildly, we look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
The Browns drive about to get started. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Throwing now, Watson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The end result, 21 yards. Again, it's Watson. And he will find his man on the outside. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now it's Watson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Watson looks to throw again. And a quick throw here. That's complete. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Bronco defense comes up big. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Browns, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers.